Mountain.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the blood saturation method, or whatever. Somebody might call it something different on the internet, you know, hemo this or whatever, or vampire, I don't know what the hell they're going to call it, but they're calling everything something. Everybody's got a buzzword for something, but I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about something to think about. I'm not even sure if what I'm going to say today is absolutely true or not, or why it might be true for you, but this is just a theory that may be worth investigating on your part. Maybe it's through looking at studies, although studies aren't always telling the whole picture, as we know. I'm so surprised how married to studies some people are. It's almost like they won't breathe unless they see a study saying that breathing will keep them alive. Man, that wind is a little cold today. Oh, wait a second. What was I thinking? I didn't read a study on how cold it is today. I don't know what temperature it really is, so shame on me. Shame on me. I mean, imagine a world where there's no consequence and nothing really matters unless it's written down on paper. Hey, how's it going? What'd you do that for? That hurt. No, it didn't. Produce the study. Produce the study. But yeah, it's kind of like a watch or a clock, right? Lots of little moving parts in here. And by seeing or being aware of the different moving parts, you can sometimes get a better idea of what to adjust at what time to get a different response from your training. So something I want to talk about today is the blood saturation method, right? And let's just call it that for now. And what that method is that when you concentrate the blood flow in one area through possibly doing multiple sets of one exercise and then resting, then you may experience a benefit from having the blood saturate that area. And the saturation, which is basically an excess of blood in that area, I wonder if there's some sort of response that happens from that, which would be one of the contributing factors to why sometimes high volume training, such as in a bro split, may work, right? So think of it this way. When I'm doing multiple body parts in a workout, sure, there are other types of stimuli at work there. So I'm stimulating the entire body through the nervous system and through doing all these different compound movements, which I do believe is necessary for stimulating the hormone system. But if I just concentrate all my energy on one area or on one body part with lots of volume, and I just pump a lot of blood and muscular damage into that area, it stands to reason that all the resources of the body, all the protein and the amino acids and the carbs and everything will be concentrated for optimum recovery of that area. So this is another reason why I do believe it's important for you to switch up your training from time to time from one split to the next. It's not always about one split being perfect as opposed to another. It's more about what part of the clock do you want to work on at that time in order to push the body into growth or into adapting to this new stimulus. Now, there's one story I've talked about before where one guy stopped leg training altogether and he just trained his upper body, and he always had trouble putting on muscle and his upper body ballooned. Like, it made a huge difference. And it's because he had a broken leg for a period of time and he couldn't train at all on his legs, but he did nothing but upper body work because he had all these complications with his leg training. He did nothing but upper body work for 6 months, and you noticed a massive difference in the growth that he had. And I think one of the factors in this might have been that a lot of the recovery resources, whether that's just from blood or not, were going to these body parts that he was training, and they weren't being robbed from the massive amount of damage that would be done during leg training to the legs or to the lower back muscles and that sort of thing. So the truth is, you only have so much resources for recovery. There's only so much food your digestive system can digest. There's only so much amino acids that can be circulating in the system, no matter how many times you use the super aminos or you're eating your organ meat and you're making sure that you have all the nutrients in line. There's still going to be only so much nutrients you're going to have in your system. And because of this, it would make sense to concentrate all of those resources in one specific area for a period of time, such as with high volume training, and then not, like on purpose, not training other body parts around the same window, right? Maybe that's the same 24-hour window or the 12-hour window or whatever. And you say, I just want all my recovery to go into making that muscle bigger and more pumpy and lumpy. Pretty interesting, right? That's pretty cool to think about, that there may be a way of bringing up that weak body part. Maybe it is a relevant method to just train a weak body part by itself on its own individual day and make sure all the food and recovery is going to that body part at that time to bring it up. I think it's worth a try. So if you haven't done this, if you've been doing whole body workouts all the time, but you've never tried high volume and one muscle group by itself for periods of time, I still think you should be incorporating this into your system or into your training system from time to time. And don't forget to use the exercise stick. This stick right here comes in multiple parts. Some assembly is required, but of course this will save you a little bit on shipping. Now, as you notice, we've got lots of pieces here, and this is, well, specifically designed by my engineers, so that way you have a multiple variable system at work here. So because of the various different lengths of sticks, you have different tension on the forearms. I mean, when you're hitting people, you'll notice there's a different amount of tension depending on if you're using a long stick as opposed to a short stick. And you can also attach more leaves on the longer stick as opposed to the shorter sticks, therefore making compound movements more effective for heavier weight. Don't be afraid to also incorporate your rock system with the stick system, but ultimately, I believe that you should have a complete system of sticks, rocks, and leaves in order to complete your Galantian mountain training. So make sure you send your, well, actually somebody just suggested this. Hey, Jason, why don't you just make a package of rocks, sticks, and leaves and charge $199.95 or something like that for it, and that would be a reasonable deal. Okay, so $199.95, just send that to naturalgalantbodybuilding.com and you will get your shipment of rocks, sticks, and leaves, so that way you can get more pumpy and lumpy and possibly apply some of the techniques I talked about in this video today. Mountain. So I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgalantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.